I have previously written books on video game addiction and mobile phone etiquette. Parallels may also be drawn to this type of addiction. In this book, my focus is on our conflicting relationship to social media. I have interviewed researchers, talked to friends and relatives, as well as other people I have met in daily life about their views on social media. Additionally, this is a book built upon personal reflections and thoughts. In this book, I shall keep referring to my own life on social media, about how I was engulfed by, above all, Facebook, a realization that I was hooked, and about how I broke free. This journey is described at the end of the book under the headline, How I Got Stuck Online and Created a Digital Balance. Maybe you will recognize yourself in my experiences, be inspired to create your own digital balance, or can choose to see it as a thought-provoking subject. I see my own use turning into an addiction as a strength, because I know what I am talking about when the pressure to be active online feels like a compulsion. But today, I have come out of my addiction and formed a healthier relationship with my digital life. I deliver this book from 3 different perspectives: that of the addiction expert, that of the person who, himself, has suffered from an addiction, and the third perspective, that of the parent. My children grew up in the middle of the digital revolution, and, to begin with, I had no understanding of my children's digital interest. But, together with my own use of social media, I have gained a better understanding and insight into this modern way of socializing. There is, as yet, no clinical diagnosis called social media addiction. The topic is relatively new and uncharted, even though there is ongoing research. However, the term social media addiction is already used widely all over the world. It describes the state where people seem to lose control over their use of social media. Since it is a simple and clear term, I will also use it. My view of social media is pragmatic. I take people's experiences of dependency-causing phenomena seriously, but I believe that social media can be a source of both good and evil. I have existential and holistic values, which means that I believe you yourself have the possibility to shape large parts of your life by the choices you make. What you have for breakfast, whether you smoke or not, whether you exercise or are inactive, and how you choose to live your digital life. I believe body and soul are intimately connected. If you exercise your body, you will feel better psychologically. If you are depressed, your physical health can also suffer. Life is a constant balance between physical and psychological health. In my work, I take an optimistic view on change. Even if you are in a negative dependency, there is always the possibility to stop and initiate a change. The choice is yours. 2. Our lives online. The digital revolution. The digital revolution is an ongoing process. What was previously analog has become more and more digital. Payment solutions, medical technology, entertainment, navigation, and communication. More and more platforms are appearing, making possible smooth dialogue between people. This is where social media has an important function to fill. We spend more and more of our time on social media. Some of the biggest platforms are Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, WhatsApp, and YouTube. Here, we broadcast our lives, sharing everything from simple day-to-day events to weddings and funerals. Social media is open round the clock, all year round, providing information to more than 3 billion users across the world. What social media do you use? Which ones do you like the best? Is there any platform that you feel creates problems to you? The coin has 3 sides. At the beginning of the digital revolution, the discussions about social media were mainly positive. There was talk of a new and fantastic way of socializing that gained more and more followers. The debate about the downside of social media has not been going on for as long. The first time that I spoke publicly on the subject was in the Swedish national newspaper, Aftonbladet, in 2009. It was an article about young people's Facebook habits.